Hello everyone, today I am going to show you how to create procedural leaf in Houdini. So let's move into Houdini. Now over here I am going to first of all create one geometry container. I just go inside that container, and now over here I am going to create one null operator, and I just name it as controller. Just change color it maybe green. And over here I just select this particular stuff, and over here I just log that particular operator. So over here I'm going to create some controller, and over here my active operators parameter will appear over here. So first of all I'm going to create some controllers, like I just apply edit parameter over here, float, and in that basically I'm going to apply one len, that is leaf length. Over here I just change range 0 to 10 and by default 1. Now I create one more parameter, that is integer, and that basically I'm going to create one curve, and over there I need some segments, so I just create segment, and that should be my base curve segments. Okay, and over here I just set it to maybe 0 to 30, and over here I prefer I just set it to 10. Okay, I create one more parameter, and that is float, and over here that should be my body area, or that is main leaf area. Okay, so body area, and over here I prefer that this should be maybe 0.2 to maybe 0.5. Okay, like that. And over here by default value is 0.2. Okay, so I just create those parameters, and that I will basically cover in few minutes, that why I create these parameters. Okay, so now over here first of all I'm going to create one line. So this is my baseline. Now over here I have to assign it to in z direction like this, and the length I just copy this parameter from my controller and paste it over here, paste relative reference. So now I can control this thing. Now over here I prefer that I create one resample operator, and over here I just define maximum segment, and I just copy this parameter, paste the relative reference over here. So now I get this much of parameter. So now this is my base curve. So over here I just create one null operator, and I just define this should be my base curve. Now see over here what I need is that over here I need that leaf maybe start from here and like this. Okay, so this is just a stream that will help me to create those stuff. So now to do that over here I just apply one curve, okay, through which basically I can define the area of that leaf. And to manipulate that over here I just copy this parameter and apply paste relative reference over here. Okay, so it might possible that you just change little bit more over here. So for that reason over here maybe I just set 0.01 to 0.5, apply accept. Okay, so now over here I want to do that leaf shape over here, and see basically over here normally what we prefer that we apply that curve view attribute over here, but the problem is that this and segment. Okay, so over here we have same interval or same length over here, the segment length is same, but over here we get that issue. Okay, so to overcome that problem what am I going to do is that over here I am going to create one attribute wrangle. Okay, so to do that over here I am going to create one vector parameter, and that is p0 is equal to, I just call that, okay, point, I just call the information of point, and over here we have that 0 input. I need to call my position attribute, and over here I just call that 0. Okay, same way at 0, that means that 0 number point, okay, point number 0. Now I just copy this particular stuff, Control C, Control V over here, and over here I just name it as P1, and over here P, but over here at 0 I just apply at numpt, that is my total number of point minus 1, because my point always number start from 0 to something, and total point is obviously likewise over here we have 10 points, so this the index of this should be 9. Okay, so that's why pt number minus 1. Okay, now over here what am I going to do is that at curve view attribute. Okay, so I'm named that as curve view, but over here I have to apply fit at p, capital P dot z should be p, so my this is my original length, and that is p0 dot z comma p. Okay, over here I do not need to write down at, and over here p1 dot z, and now my new range should be 0 and 1. Okay, so if you check over here in geometry spreadsheet, see over here you will get this information like 0.89, and if you want to see that particular information over here, I just call curve view. In that I just go to edit, and preferable that I just set marker over here. So now see, you can find out that over here you get 0, but it's not like that we get that same interval or same value, but it's segregate according to the length of this segment. Okay, so that will help me to create that shape in a proper manner. Okay, so now what I supposed to do over here is that I'm going to create one more attribute triangle. Okay, to just segregate those stuff. Even I can do that same stuff over here, but I just segregate those stuff over here. So now over here what am I going to do is that over here I'm going to apply p scale is equal to ramp, and in which I just apply name as lip shape, and over here the base attribute for this is curve u, like that. And I because I'm going to create this channel over here, so I just need to click over here. So now I get something like this over here. Okay, so now what I supposed to do is that over here I need to apply one sweep operator, in which I'm going to apply a ribbon. Okay, so now see, right now we get something like this over here. Now one more thing that I prefer over here is that over here I'm going to create one more parameter, and that is float, and the name of this is width, and that is lift width. Okay, 0 to 10, that is okay, and over here I just set it to maybe 0.4 or something like that. Apply accept, and I just need to copy this thing, copy parameter, and over here in width I just apply paste relative reference over here. Okay, now what am I going to do is that I just come over here, I just select this marker, go to B-spline over here, again B-spline, and now I can give a proper shape to my leaf. Okay, so definitely over here you can increase maybe 2, that is too much. Okay, so now you have to apply a proper shape to this. Okay, so whatever shape you like, you can just use this ramp. Okay, so now I get this thing like this. Okay, so now what I need over here is that I need give a little archy shape to this leaf. So for that purpose over here I'm going to apply one clip, and that clipping should be in like this. Okay, and now over here I'm going to apply one transform, and over here I need to rotate that particular stuff like this. Okay, so over here what am I going to do is that I'm going to apply one center band. Okay, so to do that, over here I just apply edit parameter, float, and that should be my center band. Okay, and over here 0 to maybe 45 degree, that is fine. And over here I just apply default value 20 degree, apply accept. And now what I need to do is that I just copy this parameter, come over here and paste a relative reference into this thing. Okay, so I get something like this over here. Now I need little archy shape over here. So to do that, over here I'm going to apply one band modifier in which I have to set, that should be in x direction like this, and the length for this should be my leaf width. Okay, so I just copy this thing, and over here this length should be this. So paste relative reference, and this is my half leaf, so I have to divide that particular stuff by 2. So I get something like this over here. And what I also prefer over here is that whatever you apply over here, so I just copy this parameter, come over here in band parameter, paste relative reference, but that should be in negative direction. So over here I just apply minus, or maybe you just apply that particular value and multiply that particular value with -1. That is also give you a proper that banding over here. And you feel that over here you just apply maybe sometime into multiply with 1.5 or whatever to give a little more arc to that, so you can do that. Okay, so now I get this archy shape over here. So definitely over here what I need is that over here I'm going to apply one mirror. Okay, so I get this result like this. Now what I need over here is that I need to band this particular stuff. And before we apply anything, I prefer over here is that I apply some fuse. So it might possible if there is some point it's not intersect or like that, so it just basically merging with each other. So now over here I'm going to create one more band. Okay, so to do that, over here I just apply edit parameter interface. Over here I just create one more float. Over here I just apply maybe 20 degree default, and now I'm going to change the name. So over here this is my root band. Okay, so root band over here, apply accept, and also I prefer that over here I just change my range to maybe 0 to 60 degree or maybe 90 degree, that is also fine. So apply accept. Now over here what I need to do is that over here I need to apply one band modifier. Okay, the direction is proper but the length is not proper, so the length should be my leaf length. Okay, so I just select this particular stuff, come over here, capture length, I just paste relative reference over here, and now whatever the angle I apply over here, so I just copy this thing and apply over here, paste relative reference, and definitely that should be in negative. Okay, so now I just bend my leaf like this. So I get something. Now I want to create that center band. So to do that, over here I have this base curve, so I'm going to use that base curve. Okay, so what I need to do is that over here I have to call this band, whatever the band we apply, that root band, I just right click over here, go to action and create reference copy, and now this main curve should be applied over here. So we get band in my curve with the same like this. Okay, so now even if I change like this, we get something like this. Okay, so now over here what am I going to do is that over here I'm going to apply one more sweep operator. I just apply like this, and over here I just apply round tube, in which apply scale along curve like this, and over here I create one more parameter, and that should be when radius maybe 0 to 1, default value maybe 0.2, apply accept, copy this parameter, and over here paste relative reference over here. I just reduce like this. Okay, and now what I need to do is that over here I'll just apply one merge operator, and I just merge these two stuff over here like this. Okay, even you can create one more parameters over here, like maybe edit parameter, integer, and that should be width segment. Okay, and over here I just change range from 2 to maybe 20, default value maybe 8, apply accept. I just copy this parameter, come over here in sweep and paste relative reference over here. Okay, so now you can increase that segments also. Okay, so now I need to apply some roughness to this particular leaf. Okay, so basically right now it is very smoother, so it is not look very natural over here. So now see, what am I going to do is that over here I am going to create attribute. Okay, so first of all I just arrange like this, and over here I am going to create one attribute. So attribute create. Okay, and this attribute is my roughness. Okay, so I just name it as rough, and over here what am I going to do is that over here I am going to apply value 0. Now I just copy this particular stuff and I just apply it over here. Okay, and now over here I am going to apply one value over here, because basically I do not want roughness in this center. Okay, I just want that roughness should be applied in the border area specifically. So now what I need to do is that over here I am going to apply attribute transfer over here and from here. Okay, and this attribute is your rough, and right now I just click over here and click on this rough and click on this. Okay, and now what I need to do is that I just go to condition, and over here maybe I just reduce this particular stuff, say like this. So over here what I prefer is that whatever the width I have, like this. Okay, so I just copy this parameter, paste a relative reference over here and divide it by 25 maybe. Okay, so see, we get something like this over here. Now I just need one more stuff, that is this. Okay, bandwidth. So over here what I prefer is that I just copy this parameter, distance threshold, paste relative reference and divide it by 2. So we get little smoother over here. So now we get some that one value, that roughness value over here, and like this over here. So now what I need to do is that first of all I'm going to apply normal to calculate normal again. Okay, now over here I'm going to apply one attribute warp. I just apply it over here. Now through this attribute warp I'm going to apply some roughness over here, and to do that I just go inside this particular stuff, and over here I'm going to create one anti-alias noise. I just apply position over here. Now I need to call that rough attribute that I created through that attribute transfer and everything. So to do that, I am over here called bind, in which I have to write down that attribute name, and you have to apply a proper data type for that. So that is float, so I'm not going to change anything over here. Now what am I going to do is that I just apply multiply, and that noise should be multiplied with this roughness. So basically whatever the noise, so over here we get 0 value, so we do not get any noisy patterns over here, while we got some noisy pattern over here. And now over here I'm going to apply displace along normal, in which I have to define position and this product as my amount. And now I just apply this particular stuff to position. Okay, now if I click, see, right now I get something like this. Okay, so that is too much roughness over here. So first of all, I just need to change this scale value. Okay, so to do that, I prefer that I just promote this parameter. Same way over here in noise, I prefer that I promote frequency, promote offset, promote roughness, and promote parameter. Okay, so now I just come outside of this particular stuff, so I get those parameters over here. So maybe I can reduce my roughness. Okay, maybe scale little bit like this. So anything. Okay, now if I check this thing, we get something like this over here. Okay, now I prefer that over here I am going to apply one UV unwrap also. So over here I prefer that I apply UV flatten. Okay, so I get something like this over here. Now one more thing that I prefer over here is that over here I am going to create attribute transfer over here on this particular van. I just apply it over here, and over here I just apply this UV information transform from here to here. And for that, because that UV information on vertices, so I just remove this particular stuff. I just click on this vertices and I just click texture. It should be transfer over here. Okay, so now if you check over here, we get something like this. Okay, so this is one recipe that I designed for live. Okay, so now what I prefer over here is that I just create one output. So basically this should be the outcomes of this. You just select everything over here and I just press Shift C, or over here you can click on this subnet. Okay, so I just apply this particular stuff, or maybe you can say that I'm just creating one subnet for this thing. Okay, and this is my live. And over here what am I going to do is that over here I am going to call some important parameters over here. So to do that, I just go to edit parameter, I just remove all those stuff. So I just select all those stuff and apply invisible over here. Now what I prefer is that over here I just call those basic parameter that I created into that null. So I just come over here in from node, in which I have these controllers, and I call all controllers over here like this. Now over here I just apply one separator, and now over here I am going to call some more parameters. Like I prefer that I just call this attribute also. So I just call it over here, here, like this. Okay, and I create one more separations over here. And now I am going to create one more parameter, float, and I just call it as point info. Okay, that I will show you that why I'm creating this thing, point info, and I just apply and accept. So now over here I got all those parameters, okay, that important parameter over here, and this point information, that is additional parameter. Okay, so now see, what am I going to do over here is that I just create one curve for that particular plant, and over there I just segregate those leaf onto this particular plant, and what I need is that over there I need some variation in shapes and everything like that. Okay, so now how to deal with that? So over here, what am I going to do? I just create one curve. I just move into maybe side view or something like that, and over here I just create one base curve like over here, like this. Okay, and over here I just apply resample, and preferable that I apply subdivision like this. Okay, now I just apply one curve, so through that basically I just limit, so it is not like that my leaves start from bottom to top or something like that, so I need little space over there, so I can just set like this over here. Now this is my base curve, so I just set like this, and over here what am I going to do is that over here I'm going to apply some scatter, and I just apply maybe 12 point like this. Okay, now one more thing that I prefer over here is that over here I'm going to create one attribute randomize, and basically through which I'm going to apply normal. Okay, and I just apply -1 to 1 over here, approx -0.1 to 0.1 over here. Over here again -1 to 1 in Z. Okay, so right now if you check the normal information of this particular stuff, we get something like this, see. And now if I just doing like copy to point, and this is my leaf and this is my points, so we get something like this over here. Okay, so a little like this, but over here I need that the bottom leaf should be bigger and the top leaf should be smaller. So to do that, over here I am going to create one attribute wrangle, in which I am going to apply like at p scale is equal to fit 01. And over here what I creating one more thing, that is over here I prefer that I apply curve view attribute. Okay, so now over here what I need to do is that I just apply fit 01. Over here I have this curve view attribute already on those points, and over here I just define that okay, that should be 0.1 to 1.2. Okay, so now if I click outside of this, so now see, we will get over here bigger leaf and over here smaller leaf. Now what am I going to do is that over here I have this base curve, this is resample. Over here I'm going to apply one sweep operator, and I just apply round and little bit like this, scale, not over here, over here. Like this maybe. Okay, and now for example I just apply merge over here and over here, we get something like this. I just apply some global shape, should be like this maybe. Okay, so I get this, but right now what happened that it just changed the you can say that change the scale only. Okay, there is no variation in shape. It is just like we have same leaf with different size. Okay, so now to do that over here, what we prefer, I'm going to create one for each point, in which I have to apply this copy to point. I just apply these points over here. This point should be like this, and over here I'm going to apply this leaf like this. Okay, just remove this particular stuff. I just add it over here like this structure. And now what I am going to do is that over here I'm going to create one attribute randomize again, in which I am going to create one attribute called PTN, and that should be 0.0121. Okay, so over here we have that information. Now see, what am I going to do is that over here I'm going to create one null operator, and over here I just name it as that out point info. And now over here in leaf I created this point info, so over here I'm going to call that point info from here. So I just call point. Over here you have to define that operator, then you have to define point number. So definitely in for each block, we every time we get only 1 point, so we just call 0th point. Over here we need to call that attribute, so that is PTN, and index of that particular attribute. So right now this is float, so we just apply 0 over here. So right now for each point, wherever that it just go into that loop, and for each time it just call 1 point, and that 1 point has different PTN. Okay, so now I am going to apply that particular stuff, like maybe I just copy this parameter and maybe I just apply that particular stuff into this. Okay, so now maybe I just apply like multiply fit into bracket that info, paste the relative reference, and comma 0.521. So over here we need to write down maybe fit 01. That is also fine. So we get something like this over here. So now see, we get little variation in that. So if you feel that okay, I need some more, maybe 1.2 over here, so you can do that thing. Okay, now maybe I can apply that particular stuff into center band. So maybe over here I just apply maybe 29 into, I just copy these things, so Control C, paste the relative reference over here, and maybe over here I just apply maybe 0.221. So now see, we get some variation in band also. Okay, now one more thing that I can apply, that is maybe root band. So over here maybe I just apply 17 into, again paste this value, and might possible over here I just apply 0.3 to maybe 2.2, something like that. So now I get some banding variation also. So see, over here more band, over here little lesser band, and like that. Okay, same thing, we can apply that particular stuff to this offset. Okay, maybe I just apply this particular stuff and I just apply, so I just copy this parameter, paste relative reference over here, and maybe I just apply multiply with 10. So now see, over here we get little more variation into that. Okay, so now you can just apply that randomness over here and there. So maybe paste the relative reference over here, maybe multiply with 10 or 20 or something like that, and see, you will get some more stuff over here. But now what I feel is that over here it might possible that I need some extrusion, okay, to give a little more depth over here. It might possible if your scene is very closer and something like that. So you just go inside this particular stuff, and over here you just apply poly extrude, and over here what I prefer, I just unlock this. Over here I have this stuff. So what I prefer is that whatever the vein radius, I just copy this particular stuff, copy parameter, come over here, and in this distance I just paste the relative reference and maybe divide by 10 or something like that. So we get little thickness over here, and definitely over here what you need to do, out back. So we get something like this. Okay, so now I just come outside of this and we will get something like this over here. Maybe you can apply one more time normal and we get something like this. Okay, so now you can apply some scattered on this particular stuff. Likewise, if you have this leaf, everything is over here. So now you can apply some scattered point over here. And over here, what am I going to do is that over here I'm going to apply rough. I have one attribute called rough, so I will get all the point over here. So now I just apply 20 maybe over here. And now what am I going to do is that over here I'm going to create one sphere, and that is polygon, little smaller, high frequency. I apply mountain over here, maybe something like this. Okay, and over here in this scatter, what am I going to do is that over here I'm going to apply attribute randomize, in which I'm going to apply p scale. That should be 1.221, as well as over here I'm going to apply one more attribute randomize, and that is my normal. And over here I just apply -1, -1 and -1. Okay, now I just apply copy to point. I just have the sphere, I just apply this particular stuff over here and we get something like this over here. And I just reduce this scale a little bit like this, or maybe over here I just apply one more transform through which I am going to scale like this. And now what I need to do is that whatever I get over here, I just apply one boolean operation. I have this contain, I have this object, and now I get something like this. Okay, so some insect bites I get over here. Okay, so that's how you can create procedural leaf. Hope you like this tutorial. See you soon with another tutorial. Thank you.